In the previous lecture, we have seen the external structure of the heart. Now, in this lecture, we are going to see the internal structure of the heart. How heart is looking internally, we are going to see. Internally, heart is made up of two auricles and two ventricles. Okay, you can see a diagram of internal structure of heart on your screen. Okay, it is an internal section, it is a dissection of the heart. We know that there are four chambers, two auricles and two ventricles. Okay, we will see auricles and ventricles both. First one is nothing but the atria, or we can call it as auricles or atrium. Okay, there are two atrium present which are thin walled. You can see in the diagram the atria or the atrium, it is thin walled. Pair of atrium are present and these are thin walled. These are the receiving chambers of the heart. That means blood, it is received in the heart into the atrium. Right and left both. In that blood is going to be received. So that they are called as receiving chambers of the heart. Two atria are separated by interauricular septum. Remember that two atria, right and left, these are separated by interauricular septum. Okay, and on that interauricular septum, a oval depression is present, and that is called as fossa ovalis. Okay, on that dividation of the atria, one oval depression is present called as fossa ovalis. Okay, again in the atriums, the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and coronary sinus are open into right atrium. Okay, remember that in the right atrium, what is going to be open? Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and coronary sinus. You can see in the diagram names of these. Okay, where they are present. And in the left atrium, four pulmonary veins are going to be opens. Okay, so in the right atrium, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and coronary sinus opens. But in the left atrium, pulmonary veins are open and these are four in number. That means at the right side two pulmonary veins and at the left side two pulmonary veins are present. But they are without walls. Walls are absent in these pulmonary veins. Okay, both the atria, right and left atria, are open into both the ventricles respectively. That means right atrium opens into the right ventricle and left atrium opens into the left ventricle. Okay, and it is by atrioventricular septum or aperture. Remember student that two atrium are separated by interauricular septum, two ventricles are separated by interventricular septum, and auricles and ventricles are separated by atrioventricular septum or aperture. Okay, now coming to the second part, that is ventricles. These are also present in pair. Two ventricles are there, but they are thick walled pumping chambers of the heart. You can see in the diagram, ventricles are thick than that of the auricles or atriums. Okay, and these are called as pumping chambers of heart. Okay, both the ventricles are separated by interventricular septum. I earlier said that. Okay, both the ventricles are separated by interventricular septum. You can see in the diagram, wall of the left ventricle, it is more muscular than that of the right ventricle. Okay, it is about 3 times more muscular than that of the right ventricles. It is shown in the diagram. Okay, and the inner surface of this musculature shows several ridges called as columnae carni. Okay, it is also labeled in the diagram, columnar cornea. It is a ridges like structure in the inner part. Okay, and there are also presence of inelastic fibers. These are called as chordae tendineae. Okay, and this is very important fibers. Chordae tendineae is the important fibers because they regulate the opening and closing of the walls. We are going to see the walls after this. So this opening and closing of the walls, it is under the control of fiber chordae tendineae. Okay, then right ventricle opens into pulmonary aorta and left ventricle opens into aorta. Remember student that right ventricle opens into pulmonary aorta and from the pulmonary aorta blood passes to the lungs. And simultaneously left ventricle opens into the aorta and from the aorta it goes to the other body parts. So remember that right ventricle supplies blood to the lungs and left ventricle supplies blood to the other body parts. This is about the atria and ventricles of the heart. Then in the internal structure of the heart, next part is nothing but the walls of the heart. Walls of the heart. There are mainly 5 walls present in the heart internally. Okay. In that first one is the Eustachian wall. Okay. Eustachian wall, it guards the opening of inferior vena cava. We have seen in the atria. Okay, inferior vena cava, it is open into right atrium. So that inferior vena cava, when going to open into the right atrium, it is guarded by Eustachian wall. Okay, and why it is present? It is present just because to stop the backflow of the blood. Okay, so Eustachian wall, it is guards the opening of inferior vena cava. The second is called as Thebesian wall. This is also important wall and it guards opening of coronary sinus into the right atrium. Now this is going to open into the right atrium, coronary sinus, and it is guarded by the Thebesian wall. So these two walls are present in the right atrium and it guards the opening of these respective structures. Okay, after that, third and fourth are nothing but tricuspid and bicuspid wall. These are very much important walls in case of the pumping of the heart. So tricuspid wall or what? It is present between the right atrium and right ventricle. That means you can see in the structure right atrium and right ventricle. In between that white structure you can see. This is called as tricuspid valve. Okay, it has 3 flaps or cusps. That's why it is called as tricuspid valve. Tri means 3. Cuspid means cusps and valves. These valves are having 3 cusps, that is called as tricuspid valve. And its function, it prevents the backflow of the blood into the right atrium. That means right atrium to right ventricles it goes. But from the ventricle, blood cannot goes to the atrium. That's why there are 3 flaps are present. Simultaneously, bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve, it is present between left atrium and left ventricle. Now it is at the left side. You can see in the diagram also, left side there is also presence of valves. It is bicuspid valve because it has 2 flaps or cusps. That's why it is called as bicuspid valve. It is function of this, it prevents the backflow of blood into the left atrium. From the ventricle, blood cannot go to the left atrium. That's why there is a presence of bicuspid valves. So tricuspid and bicuspid valves prevents the backflow of blood into the atrium. And tricuspid wall is present at the right side of the heart, and bicuspid wall is present at the left side of the heart. Both tricuspid and bicuspid wall attached to the chordae tendineae. Okay, we have seen what is chordae tendineae. It is a musculature, and that is connected to the tricuspid and bicuspid wall to control the opening and closing of that walls. And fifth important wall is nothing but the semilunar wall. It is present at the opening of pulmonary artery and systemic aorta. So semilunar walls are also important. It also prevents the backflow of blood when ventricles undergo systole. Now what is systole? We are going to see in the next part, that is systole. And at that time of the systole condition, to prevent the backflow of blood into the ventricles, the semilunar walls are functioning. So these 5 walls are very much important in the internal structure of the heart. Okay, we have seen atrium, ventricles and 5 walls of the heart. Then next one is pumping action of the heart. Okay, we know that heart is the main pumping organ of the circulatory system. Okay, what is the meaning of pumping action of the heart? The pumping action means the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of cardiac muscles or heart muscles is called as pumping action of the heart. Okay, contraction of heart muscle is called as systole, and relaxation of heart muscles is called as diastole. Okay, so rhythmic contraction and relaxation is there in case of cardiac muscles. Contraction is called as systole and relaxation of heart muscle is called as diastole. So single systole followed by diastole, it will make one heartbeat. In simple language, a contraction of heart muscle and it is followed by relaxation of heart muscle. It will make one heartbeat. Okay, and we all know that heart beats about 70 to 72 times per minute, and that is called as heart rate. So heartbeat is what? A rhythmic systole followed by diastole, it is called as heartbeat. Heart rate means what? Heart beats about 70 to 72 times per minute, it is called as heart rate. Okay, and during each heartbeat, the ventricles pumps about nearly 70 ml of blood. Okay, that is very much important. In each heartbeat, if 70 ml of blood is pumped, that is called as stroke volume. So stroke volume is 70 ml. Then what is the cardiac output? Cardiac output means what? How many blood it is pumped from the heart in 1 minute. That is called as cardiac output. So cardiac output, it is calculated by heart rate into the stroke volume. Okay, we know that heart rate in 1 minute it is 72. So cardiac output is equal to 72 into stroke volume. Stroke volume is 70 ml. So cardiac output is equal to 72 into 70. It is equal to 5040 ml. It is it is about 5 liters of blood per minute. So cardiac output is 5 liters of blood per minute. Okay, this is about the pumping action of the heart. Then coming to the conducting tissue of the heart. Okay, human heart is myogenic. Why it is called as myogenic? Because it is capable of generating cardiac contraction without any type of nervous input. That means they are having power of self-generating cardiac contraction. Okay, they can only generate cardiac contraction without any type of nervous input, and they are also having autorhythmicity. So why they are called as myogenic? Because they are self-generating cardiac contraction and they are having self-rhythmicity. Okay, then a specialized cardiac musculature, it is called a nodal tissue, it is distributed into the heart. So conducting tissue is also called as nodal tissue, and that nodal tissue, it is distributed in the entire heart. Okay, a part of nodal tissue, it is present in the SA node. SA node is called as sinoatrial node. Okay, so part of nodal tissue, it is present in the SA node, and that SA node, it is present in the upper right corner of right atrium. So at the upper part of the right atrium, there is a presence of SA node, and that SA node is having part of nodal tissue. Specifically, the conducting tissue, it is consist of SA node, that means sinoatrial node, then AV node, that means atrioventricular node, then bundle of His and Purkinje fibers. These are the four important parts, and by using these four of the parts, heart is conducting the heartbeats, okay, or the pumping action. So we will see the conducting system of heart. Okay, you can see one diagram on your screen which is showing the conducting system of human heart. You can see two auricles are there, two ventricles are there. Okay, right and left atrium, right and left ventricle is there. There is a presence of SA node, sinoatrial node. Then just below to that atrioventricular node, that is AV node, and that both are present in the atrium. Okay, right atrium. Then there is a presence of bundle of His. Okay, atrioventricular bundle of His is there. It goes from the center of the heart to the downward side. Then it is divided into two parts. One goes to the right ventricle and one goes to the left ventricle, and it is form a network which is called as Purkinje fibers. Okay, this is nothing but the conducting system of heart. In that, first part is the SA node. We have already seen that SA node is also called as sinoatrial node. SA node, it is present in the right atrium. Okay, you can see in the diagram, at the top of the right atrium there is one spot of red color seen. It is called as SA node or sinoatrial node. SA node is also called as pacemaker of the heart. It can be asked in your exams. Pacemaker of heart. Name the pacemaker of heart. That is nothing but the SA node. Why it is called as pacemaker? Because it has power of generating new wave of contraction, and it will make pace of contraction. So new wave of contraction they can generate. That's why it is called as pacemaker, and it can making the pace of contraction. That's why SA node, it is called as pacemaker of the heart. Okay. Then second part, it is called as AV node, or it is called as atrioventricular node. Okay. The SA node passes contraction to the left ventricle and also to the AV node, that is atrioventricular node. So contraction from SA node comes to the AV node. Okay, and AV node, it is present in the right atrial wall. The location of AV node is, it is present in the right atrial wall. And AV node, it is act as a pace setter of the heart because it receives contraction from the SA node, and it sets the pace of the heart. That's why it is called as pace setter of the heart. Then coming to the third part, that is bundle of His. Okay, bundle of His, it starts from the AV node and it is passed through the interventricular septum. You can see it is passed from the center. Okay, that is called as interventricular septum. Bundle of His. Two red colored lines are going from the center. This is called as bundle of His. It forms two branches, right and left bundles. Okay, they forms right and left bundles, one for each ventricle, one for the right ventricle and one for the left ventricle. And finally, fourth part is nothing but the Purkinje fibers. Okay, these branches of bundle of His form a network, and that network it is called as Purkinje fibers. Okay, so these are the four parts. Bundle of His and Purkinje fibers spread impulses in the ventricles. Okay, these bundle of His and Purkinje fibers spread in the ventricles. Okay, and as a result of this, both the ventricles contract simultaneously because the Purkinje fibers spread in the ventricles on both sides. So finally, how the conducting system of heart is? First, the power of contraction, it is generated in the SA node. Okay, and that contraction it is passes to the AV node, which is also in the atrium. From the AV node, that contraction it is passed to the bundle of His, and through the bundle of His it is goes to the ventricular region, and finally goes from the meshwork or network, that is called as Purkinje fiber, and through the Purkinje fibers it goes to the both the ventricles. That's why the message goes from the SA node to the ventricles by that conducting system, and finally resulting into the simultaneous, at the same time both the ventricles are going to contract. This is about the conducting system of the heart. Okay, in the next lecture we are going to see the working mechanism of the human heart. Okay, thank you.